In 2013, HTC launched the One, a device that defined their vision of an Android flagship rooted in strong design and build quality and relying on powerful hardware and a slimmed-down Sense interface. 2 years later, HTC continues to refine the formula with the One M9, a smartphone that borrows heavily from the past in the hopes that it might push us more firmly into the future. A lot has been made of the iterative nature of the HTC One M9. We need look no further than the name. But let's dispel the idea that iterative is a pejorative and dispense with the cliches. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. With the One M7 and the One M8, it was hard to talk about either device without at least a precursory mention of their superior design and build. The One M9 is no different, mostly picking up where the One M8 left off while reaching back to the One M7 for refinement. The One M9 has the grippier feel of the latter while being as comfortable as the former in hand. Some will be put off by a sharp edge that replaces the curved design of the One M8, but we didn't take much issue with it. In fact, the average consumer would be hard-pressed to spot the differences between the One M8 and One M9 at a glance. The changes really are subtle ones. A power button that has been relocated to the side of the device under a volume rocker that now exists as two separate buttons, a one-piece metal front housing boom sound speakers, ultra-pixel camera, and 5-inch display. Around the rear, a sapphire ensconced square bearing the One M9's 20-megapixel camera. That camera also represents one of the biggest hardware departures from last year's One model. In 2014, HTC was eager to abandon the megapixel war in favor of their ultra-pixel sensor, a camera designed to perform well on its own merits despite a deceptively low megapixel count. With the One M9, however, HTC returns to a traditional sensor in the hopes that megapixels sell, and we've got 20 of them here. Unfortunately, this camera is one of the more disappointing aspects of the new One. It's not outright terrible, and in the right conditions it is capable of producing some stunning shots, but it struggles in low light situations, and photos can often appear dull or grainy. The ultra-pixel sensor does return for the One M9's front-facing shooter, and it makes for a very worthy selfie camera perfectly capable for late-night group shots in a dimly lit bar. With the One M9, HTC continues to move toward a software experience more true to its Android roots. In this case, the most lightweight version of HTC's custom Sense interface yet. While the interface itself relies more heavily on the enhancements inherent in Google's Android Lollipop OS, HTC has focused much of their efforts with Sense 7 on user customization. Changing the device's theme is easy thanks to the included app. Users can browse a wide-ranging selection of themes or even develop their own from pieces culled from their favorites. A new Sense Home widget focuses on tailoring your device to your location. It determines the apps you use most at locales like home or work and surfaces them for quick access. It also provides a selection of suggested apps, though these were mostly ignored. HTC's Blink feed is still present from past Sense iterations, and it learns a new trick, offering location-based suggestions from Yelp. The One M9 handles its software with deftness thanks to the Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 enclosed within its metal shell. The octa-core processor coupled with 3GB of RAM makes for one of the fastest Android devices in recent memory. It does result in a device that runs a little warm at times, but fears of processor-intensive tasks resulting in a scalding metal surface have been mostly overblown. The One M9's 1080p resolution seems a bit meager compared to other flagships opting for 2K, but it's hardly a noticeable difference across the handset's 5-inch display. However, color and contrast of the LCD3 hardware led to images that weren't as vibrant as we might have liked, but preferences in this department will vary. The 2840 mAh battery was strong, offering pretty standard uptime during average use. The battery life did seem to run a little short when the One M9 was used heavily as a multimedia and gaming device. The good news is Quick Charge 2.0 support means a decent recharge can be had in a minimal amount of time. Is the HTC One M9 iterative? Yes. Does it lack the flash of a curved display or fingerprint sensor or other gimmick found in competing Android flagships? Yes. Is that necessarily a bad thing? The One M9 puts design above all else, and in that respect, it could still be crowned the best on the market. With strong hardware and improved software, the One M9 makes a case for the best overall Android device as well.